Perfect. All right. All right, guys. It's my first time over here on Blog Talk, so it's taking some a little bit of getting used to the new setup again. So.
I hear you. All right, man. Let's get it cracking.
Hey, man, what fight, huh? What do you think about that big fight?
Yeah, huge fight.
I thought it was a great fight, actually. I really did. I shared the weigh-in post yesterday, and I said I think people's going to be surprised, but this has got a chance to be a damn good fight. I really do.
I wasn't surprised.
You what?
Nah, man. Actually, the fight pretty much saved the night for me because I was falling asleep.
Is that you fall asleep?
Man, listen. There was a lot of downtime in between fights. So, I got a little tired. But the fight woke me right up. I thought it was an exciting fight. I tip my hats to both men. I think my assessment has been on point. Golovkin is looking old.
Oh, man. You know I do with my notes. Yeah. I wrote down prior to the fight. These are my notes coming in. These are my thoughts coming in. My co-host touched on Thursday night that he thinks Golovkin looked a little old against Rolls, but, could that be attributed to a little bit of ring rust? Really only been in the ring, outside the Canelo fight, what? One round? What, a year and a half almost? So, 2 years, I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, coming into Rolls, so, let's hope. We'll see for sure as it gets started. And as it got started, I thought, well, he's working right. He's working behind the jab. That's vintage Gennady Golovkin. Straight up and down, fundamental as hell boxer. That he's waiting to turn over the right hand. Turn over that right hand, and as he swings it wide, he swings his a little. You notice his launch is a little wider than most. And it looked like he was on par for that. He landed the three to the head. Landed behind the ear right there in round one, and it caused Derevyanchenko to get discombobulated a little bit. It's the same exact shot in the same exact location that Andy Ruiz landed on Anthony Joshua, if you remember correctly. It started the whole damn downfall for Joshua, And
yeah.
It didn't, by any means, cause Derevyanchenko to be nowhere near the trouble Joshua was, though, at all. And a lot of people know we got a caller right here from the 775 area code. I'm not sure who it is. We'll check him out.
Hello.
You're live on the Counterpunch for Henderson Arena. Who is it?
Mike Gianniscoli. How you doing, Chris?
How you doing out there in Vegas, man? You out there in Nevada, right?
Yeah.
What do you think of that fight tonight?
I thought that kid got ripped off.
I'm going to be honest with you. I got a scoring range. If you ever listen to our show, I'll run my score. Then I'll run, if I hit a star beside a round, that means it's a close round. It could go either way. It's something I see close enough to actually go either way. And then I'll post up I'll keep what I call a range. I had this fight ranging anywhere from a 115 to 112 win for Sergey Derevyanchenko to a 115 to 112 win for Gennady Golovkin. It was that close to fight. It was a great fight. You hear a lot of people say you got to watch the thing off. What I don't ever do is I can listen to them talk. I don't check the scorecards mean nothing to me that you'll see posted on the bottom. Because you catch people trying to go back and see what they had in that round. Mannix, for instance, Mannix has always hated Golovkin from day one. He's about the only journalist that did go against him, mainstream anyway. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I very well easily could have scored that fight for Derevyanchenko. I scored it 114, 113. Gennady Golovkin with the knockdown making the difference was my score.
I had a 115, 112 Derevyanchenko.
I've seen a lot of
112?
I've seen him. Yeah, I had them that. I can't say the guy's name. Derevyanchenko. I had him in my head because. Yeah, he was making Triple G miss left and right, and he was coming back with some good body work.
Yeah,
and even
at the end,
he hurt him
to go to the body, yeah.
Yeah,
for the very first time in
7'5"
Gennady Golovkin's career, and I've probably seen almost like 60 of his amateur fights, and every professional fight he's had, I saw him in trouble tonight.
Right.
But, as me and Wilson touched on Thursday night, anybody can be hurt to the liver. And that's what we saw.
Right.
Anybody can be hurt to the liver, and that's what we saw. But he also had him on the ropes as far as up top, too, for a second. Not long, but for a second, you know.
Yeah.
Like, this is a fight that's much like the first Canelo fight to me, and that it could go much like the second Canelo fight to me. It could go either way. How I scored it. I scored it 6 rounds apiece. Y'all both scored it, what, 7-5?
Yeah.
No, y'all scored it 8-4. You just got 8 rounds for Derevyanchenko in that fight?
I did.
Did you?
You know who else did
Right.
it?
I know you did.
Boxing team had it 115, 112.
Let me get to my notes here. I carry notes round by round of every fight that especially if we're going to do it in the shadows. So, first round. Last night down caused by much the same punches Ruiz landed against Joshua. Pretty much Derevyanchenko isn't in trouble. He's kind of got off balance and fell down. 10-8 round, Golovkin.
But he won that round. I want to specify that he did win that round on points. As far as he probably lost by a point because of knockdown, but he was winning the round.
He lost that round 10-8. He lost that round 10-8.
Yeah, you got it's a 10-point must system, and unless we want to do a deduction, it's not a penalty deduction. It's a knockdown deduction, which is a difference. It has to be a 10-8 round. It's just like I hear so many people say, well, 9-9 is how the 12th round of Wilder Fury, but no. Nobody had a penalty in that round. It has to be a 10-8 round. It's a 10-point must system, okay, under the rules of the New York State Athletic Commission. This is where Wilson's from. The number you called in is actually a New York number as well. He's familiar with these rules. It has to be a 10-point must system, unless a deduction takes place.
Yeah.
A knockdown isn't a deduction. All right, it's not listed as a penalty or a deduction. It's a 10-8 round for Golovkin in round 1. Round 2. Golovkin lands left hand at the 105 mark. The 3 seems to be open every time that Derevyanchenko jabs. You can plainly see Derevyanchenko's a much faster fighter, but consistently open for the 3 sits upstairs. He's dropping the backhand when throwing the jab, the 1. The cut suffered here at approximately the 105 mark of round 2. I got a 10-9 Golovkin in that round, so I've got a 20-17 into 2. What y'all got?
I got him winning the second. I got the other guy winning the second round.
You got him winning the second round? When that big left hand calls the cut? Woo!
Yeah.
What did you have?
You can't,
go back and watch that round.
You can't consider a cut a point, you know what I mean?
No, but that was a big shot that he landed to cause that cut.
Yeah, but it was smooth the headbutt.
That was right. I starred that right there and said crucial ruling, but that ruling didn't officially come down to the 5th round.
I know, but that's when I began to worry about the fight. If the fight gets stopped, it goes to the scorecard. Like I didn't want the fight to end that way.
No, I did too. I'm gonna tell you, if you look at my notes right here, I got crucial ruling. I got the star. Then I've got round 5 time called before the start of round 5 to look at this cut again. Crucial ruling. I mark it again because should they stop this fight, you know what I mean? Now once it got to about the round 8, I was like, well, you know, we're gonna go the distance anyway.
Yeah. I
just
feel like
time was called for the doctor to look at it. I got a 2017 Golovkin at the end of 2.
I feel like I think towards the 3rd, 4th round, Derevyanchenko started coming on, backing up the Golovkin, started hitting him hard to the body. I felt like for the first time in a while,
round 3.
Yes.
Extra bell, fighters separated distance. At about the 220 mark, Derevyanchenko lands a body shot. It may be the very first time in Gennady Golovkin's career I've seen back up because he's hurt, not because of pressure. All right? We're over every single Golovkin. You know, Derevyanchenko seems to be bringing the fight now. He's gotten over the jitters. He's doing great body work in this round. I got a 29-27 Golovkin at the end of 3. Derevyanchenko's round, 10-9. Round 4. A flash of head movement from Golovkin. I guess that was an accident, I say. Great defense by Golovkin at times, but it has to be because he will not let his hands go at that moment. Very good exchange. Golovkin got the last 15 seconds. This round I got for Derevyanchenko 10-9. It's 39-30.
Yeah,
it's 38-37.
Right, I had it even through 4, so with the knockdown.
It's dead even. That's right. 38-37 is what I got it through 4. Dead even. But the knockdown makes the difference.
Right.
Round 5, Golovkin seems to be looking for a big shot. I don't know why he's doing this. Derevyanchenko's boxing very well. Hands for the last round and a half after landing the big body shot. The 130 mark, Golovkin lands an uppercut, but it doesn't seem to phase other than reset Derevyanchenko. Big body shot by Derevyanchenko with approximately 20 seconds left. Derevyanchenko wins this 10-9. I've got it 47 all at the end of 5. Warning for holding his head was on Derevyanchenko. At the end of that round, there was time at the beginning of the next round. There was time called to look at the cut.
Mm-hmm.
Round 6, I gave to Golovkin. He comes out more active, but still looking for the big shot. Great job by Banks in the corner to tell him, you look like you're stalking and trying to land something big. Put your punches in punches. Bring them together. Y'all remember Banks saying that? Come behind the jab. All right. Big shot. Derevyanchenko turns the tide with about 1:31 left after Golovkin grabbed early lead. With 45 seconds to go, Golovkin finds some combination success and wins about 15 of the last 45 seconds decisively. Just enough to swing that round his way. It was a close round. It's a star round, all right, which is listed as a close round for me. Round 1 and 2 was easily Golovkin. I had Golovkin. Round 3 was easily Derevyanchenko. Round 4 was easily Derevyanchenko. Round 5. This was the first close round, in my opinion.
In my opinion, everything up in the 4th, 5th round is up in the air.
At round 6 was the very first round I called close. All right. So you could give that to Derevyanchenko, and you got it 57-56 Derevyanchenko. This is where my range comes in. Round 7, Golovkin wins the first minute simply by stalking behind the 1. Derevyanchenko has small success to the body with a minute 42 left. Not sure what Moore is watching here. It's a close round though. I gave to Golovkin. All right.
Well, so you're giving him what if he starts out good? You're giving him a round more or less. But he was starting out good and get winded by the end.
That's not what it's about.
But I'm saying at the end of every round, he was getting winded.
The end of the round don't matter. It's who wins the most of the round or the best
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Whoever does it
the
better.
last 2 minutes, I thought he did better in the last 2 minutes every round.
I had round 7. I got as a close round, so you could have it as far as 67-65 Derevyanchenko, or well, when that gave that last one, you could have it as far as 67-65 Golovkin.
You know what else happened today?
What's that?
Golovkin got booed in New York for the first time.
After the fight?
Yeah.
Man, hey, look, Derevyanchenko, he fought a hell of a fight. And like I said, I could very easily see somebody judging this fight for him. I could see a 114-113 Derevyanchenko, and I could see a 115-112. Because if you give him those 2 rounds,
I'm okay with the decision for the simple fact that if I watch it again, there's rounds.
You could see how you can win it. Yeah, exactly. Round 8, for instance, I gave to Derevyanchenko. It's a close round. All right. Time called at the start of round 8. Golovkin's cutting the ring great in round 8, but he's showing some of the same hesitance he showed against Canelo in the first fight. You remember we talked about that way back then? He would get there and get set, and he's hesitating. I don't know why he's doing that, but he's still doing it. And it could be because Derevyanchenko's body checking. All right, so that's 2 rounds to 1 Golovkin in my close rounds I got.
Plus, Derevyanchenko was making a miss. People don't understand that when you miss a punch, it takes a lot of air out of you and a lot of confidence out of you. You miss, then you get popped with 2-3 shots. That's what he was doing, like Mayweather used to do. But he didn't do all the defense. He made a miss a lot tonight. He did make a miss a lot.
Well, Golovkin landed at the higher percentage. By far. The percentage was by far his way in power play. He landed a lot higher.
If you go by that copy box, I don't really care for that. I look with my eyes because he was winding up. I can remember so many punches he threw that he missed. Big punches, winding from.
Yeah, he did miss some big ones. He definitely missed some big ones. He missed a lot bigger ones than Derevyanchenko missed. Derevyanchenko's misses were hitting the gloves and hitting the elbows and hitting the arms, whereas Golovkin's were hitting air.
Yeah, when you hit air, that's what wins you. People are saying, "Oh, he looked winded. He didn't look right." Well, of course, because you're swinging at the air. It tires you out. Yeah. One miss is worth like 5 or 6 regular punches. Easy.
Well,
especially if you throw them that hard.
All right, go ahead, Wilson.
I said, I think today he abandoned the jab some throughout the fight. He looked a little frustrated, and I sometimes he looked flustered, like he didn't. He honestly, I don't think he thought that he was still going to be there. Late in the fight. So
hey fellas, I got a confession to make. I'm counting my round. I do have it 114, 113 Derevyanchenko.
Oh shit.
That's what
you
I
did?
have. Yeah.
Good.
I do. But my range is 115, 112 Derevyanchenko to 115, 112 Golovkin.
Yeah, well,
I don't have a 6 round. I got 7 rounds to 5 Derevyanchenko.
But I feel bad for the kid.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and let the caller go so we can get on.
All right. I got another call on the line. All right, Mike. Thanks for calling in, man. We appreciate it.
All right,
you can hang on if you listen if you want to, or the link's up on my page right now, actually. To listen online.
All right, thanks.
No problem.
All right, thanks, brother.
Thanks, brother. So, it was a hell of a scrap, man.
Hey, guys, I got another call on the line. I can't tell where he's from. Hey, how's it going? You on the counterpunch with Henderson Urena?
Hey, I was wanting to bring up the fact that it's not an automatic 10-8 round with the knockdown.
No, it can be a 10-9 round then.
Yeah, with a knockdown, it's not automatically 10-8. So that was, to me, a 10-9 round.
Correct.
So, because I interviewed Dwayne Ford one time, and I noted on the ABC certification classes, he explained that, and the perfect example of that, from what I remember, would have been Manny Pacquiao and Miguel Cotto, which was a one-sided fight, but Pacquiao scored a knockdown in the 3rd round, and the HBO commentators all scored at 10-8 and said it had to be because of that. And I know that
you're right. I did say it has to be early. What it has to be is a 10-point round for one of the fighters. All right, when a knockdown occurs, so it can be 10-9. Golovkin at the end of 1. You're right. You're absolutely correct, guys.
Yeah, so you can score that round 10-9 for Derevyanchenko, or 10-9 for Triple G. Yeah.
The guy that just called in right here, he's one of our lead sponsors, thegruelingtruth.com. This is Mike Goodpaster. How you doing, Mike?
All right, how you doing? But yeah, I just heard y'all say that, and I said that on a show like 4 years ago, and then I had like Vinny Pazienza called me, and he's like, "You're wrong."
Yeah.
So I know there was somebody out there like me that said that before and been wrong and got called on it.
Yeah, what it can't be is 9-9, and you see so many people like talk about Wilder Fury transfer around 12-9-9. Now it's 10-9. You can go with 10-9 Wilder.
Well, that's why they call it 10-point must system.
So,
yeah.
You'd think that's what everybody understood, right?
Even if you feel like the guy, even if you feel like the guy that got knocked down won the round, he's still not going to win the round. At that point,
not unless he knocks the dude down. It's got to be 10-9 because it's a must.
Yeah, right. You gotta have 2 knockdowns one by each side.
Mike, did you take one that fight?
I had Derevyanchenko winning by a point, but I could have seen it either way.
That's the same thing.
I mean, it was a close fight.
I think the judges' scorecard either way was fine with me.
Yeah, and I'll tell you this: from watching that fight, that's why Canelo don't want to fight Triple G. Because if you fight Triple G, the way to beat him, you got to stand in front of him, and you got to give a little bit of your soul to beat him.
Yeah. I wouldn't want to fight him again until I had to. I do think the zone, which I was going to actually cover that probably this week on this week's show, some of the zone stuff, because a lot of people know that I was upper competition director there. And there's some – nobody's going to have easy fights at the zone, and not when you got them big contracts. So
no, and I wouldn't mind seeing a rematch of this fight anyways.
I wouldn't either. You know, that's what I was talking about. What's next? We always close it out with what's next, and he's into shadow shows. And I was going to talk about.
Run it back.
Man, that's exactly what I said. I would love to see this again. Of course, everybody, you're going to have the fans that fuss about Andrade not getting his shot at one of the big two.
Hey, my question to you, Chris, is this. Andrade and Charlo always run around about none of these guys fighting them. Why don't they fight each other so then maybe they force one of those guys to fight them?
Well, that deal was actually signed, and I want to say, was it 2014, Wilson, or 2015? And Andrade backed out. Star Promotions backed out of that deal.
14.
Yeah, because right now they're both just sitting on their little belts and bitching and whining, but they aren't doing anything about it. And I really don't want to watch Andrade, run around while Golovkin chases him and throws jabs at him.
You're right. I don't think that's a very good fight, style-wise. I don't think style matchup unless Golovkin's able to catch him. Golovkin cuts the ring off great. He's still cutting the ring off great, even though I feel like he's definitely lost a step watching the last two fights of his.
Yeah, but I've never seen anything tell me Andrade can take that punch if he gets hit by it. Because I watched him go life or death with Jack Kolke in Germany.
That's exactly what I was getting ready to say. I've seen Kolke cause him issues, and he ain't got no power. So I'm not seeing enough to say he could. But right now, I would slightly favor Andrade in that fight, simply only in a boring fight. Because
and the thing is this: there's no money in fighting Andrade because Andrade is boring as hell.
I think that there is no money in it. He doesn't. The Zone and Eddie Hearn has learned that he doesn't do numbers. Okay. And I think that's why he's on the shelf right now. I mean, you don't hear nothing about who he's getting ready to fight. I actually reached out
they said Stephen Butler tonight, which I imagine is some pasty-faced English guy who's not very good, but I don't know. There's a lot of them out there, though, Chris. We know that.
Yeah.
There's only one Stephen Butler.
I would love to see Charlo and Andrade fight. I would love to see that fight. I would love to see Andrade fight Billy Joe Saunders. I think that's a great fight, technical fight. Now, I don't think that's a fight for the fans to watch, the casual fan to watch. Don't get me wrong. But there's a lot of thinking would have to be done in that fight right there just to score one, to land a jab. So I think I'd like to watch that fight. But I would rather see either one of them two fight each other than I would either one of them fight Golovkin right now.
Charlo Golovkin, I think, would be an entertaining fight, though.
Charlo Golovkin would be a spectacle for 5 rounds.
Yeah.
I don't see it lasting much longer than that for Charlo, unless he really
improved.
See, a lot of people think Golovkin takes a lot of shots. He has subtle defense. What I used to not as great a subtle defense as Roberto Duran per se, but he does have very subtle defense. He catches a lot of them shots with his arms, his elbows, his forearms, his gloves, and he explodes the top third of his head.
Yeah, he's catching a lot less with his arms and his gloves over the last couple of years, though.
Exactly. That's why I say
which is the only reason Canelo agreed to fight him.
He actually got cut tonight. They didn't towards the end of the fight.
Because Canelo dicking around fighting, Chavez Jr. and all those guys when he should have been fighting Golovkin then.
I feel like that. Well, I'm campaign at 155. I totally agree with you, Mike.
I think the end is closer than what people anticipate. Like
what was that?
This guy tonight doesn't beat Canelo.
Well, it's a style matchup, though. Canelo's going to give him a lot more movement. Canelo's not going to stand there and punch with him.
Well, Canelo just beat him at his fight, the last time out.
Yeah,
I don't think he beat him the last fight. I think the last fight I had Canelo winning by a point.
I had it 115, 113 Canelo.
Yeah, I had it for Triple G by 2 points, but I could have seen it either way. The first fight, though, was definitely Triple G.
The first fight, I also had $75 for Golovkin.
I did. I had 75 for Golovkin, and that was the closest I could get it.
I mean, but my whole point is like this: he's not getting any younger. He's getting older. Even fighting Rose, I've been telling Chris, hey Chris, he looks like he lost a step. He's getting a little older.
You sure did you mention that Thursday show?
Yeah, he's taking a lot of wear and tear. He's getting older, and if he fights Canelo again, I don't see that fight happening until May.
I don't see that fight happening until next September because I think Canelo knows that the longer he waits, the easier the fight gets.
Right. Yeah.
Hey, does DAZN make Canelo fight Danny Jacobs, Sergey Kovalev, and Golovkin back to back? Or do they at least lay something off in May?
This is the thing, though. When you're paying a guy that much money, you can make him do whatever you want.
Right. Yeah. So in a fight like this, though, tonight, you leave something in the ring at that age.
Absolutely, 100%.
Oh, at a younger age, you leave something in the ring in a fight like that.
Exactly, but it's even more intensified when you're older. So to me, my personal belief is, at this point, if you can't make the Canelo fight, I don't know what DAZN's going to do. They might mess around and tell him, hey, can you go to 168 or for a fight, or maybe a Jacobs, Golovkin too. I don't know where he goes from here if Canelo was to fight him. The rematch is, to me, a great option because it was an exciting fight. I would see this again.
I think it's John Skipper's preferred option. If Canelo's
I think it's Canelo's preferred option that they rematch too, because then you have the rematch, and then you've pushed another fight with Canelo and Triple G to September, and you've put Triple G through hell again.
You put number 3 off till September. I think he stops Gennady Golovkin.
That might be true.
I don't know if he starches him because I don't know with Gennady Golovkin's heart. I don't know if anybody starches him, but he kicks his ass probably.
I think he stops him. I don't know if he starches him.
I think he hurts
maybe.
I think he hurts him to the body.
Amen. I think he saw tonight that if you make a concerted effort to that body, you can get to it.
I mean,
and I don't know who that is.
It's a viable. It was a great fight. I really took my hat off to both guys. I want to keep emphasizing that, man. It was a great fight.
Super fight. You go back through my post on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. I just tied in today, but I said, man, this is a very underrated fight, and we talked about it Thursday night. A lot of people's not giving this fight the credit it deserves. I want to ask you guys, who benefited more? Who comes out of this fight looking better?
I think Derevyanchenko's stock went up.
I think his stock went up, and I think he gets at least another $2 million payday because of this.
Of course. Yeah. Because, in my opinion, a lot of people just assumed that Golovkin was going to walk through him from what I've seen on the internet, through my Facebook, Twitter, and things like that, and then you get what you got tonight. So, in my opinion, his stock went up. You're going to see him cash out, maybe. And maybe, I don't know, I'm hoping the guy at this point wins the world title because he showed, to me, he showed a lot of heart in the Jacobs fight. He showed a lot of heart in this fight. It's an exciting guy to watch, man. And he always comes on and gives you 100% from beginning to end. He might be a slow starter if you want to get technical. He starts slow a little bit. He got caught early in the Jacobs fight. He got caught early in this fight. So,
Yeah, I'm actually talking to the promoter of the Showtime card tonight, Dimitri Salita, right here on text message right now. I totally agree. I want to shout out to Mike Goodhead for coming on next to me that runs the gruelingtruth.com, one of our sponsors. We appreciate it, Mike.
Go ahead and do the sponsor call.
Exactly. We got to do sponsor talk. We want to thank our sponsors at gruelingtruth.com. That's anchor.fm, blogtalkradio.com, betus.com, where hashtag is the hashtag, okay? That's official now. TCPB. Don't ask why. Just write it down. TCPB. $500 deposits match $1 for $1. All right? If you use our promo code.
Anchor.
I'm talking
yeah, you got
a lot of people wanting to know 531-9594 is our number here.
Oh, yeah. The number is 516-531-9594. It's 516-531-9594. So, what's up, man?
Dimitri said he's going to come on for sure Thursday night with us. It's Thursday coming up. And talk about this incident that happened yesterday up there leading this card. That is, for those who don't know, he is Clarissa Shields' promoter. And I'm going to try to talk to James Oliver Shearer and see if I can get him to come in too, possibly. Maybe not at the same time. That'll be up to both of them. You know what I mean? They may not want to be on the air at the same time. But if not, I'd like to get them both on the air. We're also going to have Sean Untouchable Mason out of Florida, up-and-coming fighter from Florida. He'll be on here.
Mm-hmm.
Thursday night. Y'all know what time we start. We're at 9 p.m. live around the world at blogtalkradio.com/The Counterpunch Show.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you forgot about Anchor, too. Anchor.
I said Anchor.fm, didn't I?
No.
Yeah.
So where do you think Golovkin goes from here?
I think Golovkin either has to secure the Canelo fight, the third Canelo fight, or he loses within his next he may lose his next fight. It depends on who they make him fight. DAZN's not playing around, guys. Actually, I was going to tell listen that later this week that I want to cover this with DAZN because I talked to him late yesterday evening, and then I text back today to talk to him Monday. And, yeah, I still may take that job. I don't know for sure. But I know I'm down to the final 3 candidates. So that's off the thing. But they're going to make him fight. They're going to make him fight. I don't see – he's not getting another Steve Rolls, if that's what you think. I'd like to see the Charlo fight, actually. I would rather see that fight if I don't see the Derevyanchenko rematch, and I can't see I don't really care to see the third Canelo fight. I honestly don't. I have a very good feeling that Canelo Alvarez either beats the shit out of him and it goes the distance like a 180, like a Adelaide Bird or score, you know what I mean? Or he stops him late. I really do. As you said Thursday night, Father Time catches up to everybody, don't it?
I think the Canelo beats Golovkin in the third fight. I don't care if it's in May, December.
I don't care when it is. Yeah,
February.
No matter what. Like we both told him, I scored at 115, 113. Canelo Alvarez the second time, and I went back and watched it just like I do all the big fights. Could I see a 115, 113 Golovkin? Possibly. But at the end of 24 rounds, I had it 230 to 230 between them two. So does it justify there being a third fight? Yeah, absolutely. But I know from my years in the sport, as you do, that we're going to see a lot bigger fight, a lot more. It goes a lot more the other way this third time. The more technical guy almost always gets better each time you step in the ring.
And
not more technical, but the higher
young.
IQ. Yeah, not the more technical, because technically and fundamentally, Golovkin's flawless, all right? But that ring IQ, the ability to adjust, the ability, fighting different styles. I long think Andre Ward may be the best I've ever seen at that, to fight any possible way. He could literally fight any way he needed to win. But that just has to favor Canelo Alvarez big time, don't you think? I mean, we've seen this.
I favor Canelo boxing skill wise. I think, to me,
absolutely
ahead of Golovkin. Golovkin is fundamentally one of those guys that's going to, take the right step throw the right punch.
Feet's going to be in the right
things
place.
Like that. Right. But,
the
have
difference
the
is
timing.
punch selection is punching between punches. Canelo's so much better, in my opinion.
As far as like natural ability, I don't know. I can see why people want to see it. Hell, I wanted to see it to the point where I got like I don't even care if it happens anymore. But I can see how people want to see it. But it is an interesting bout. Man, I would love to see a rematch from tonight, but that cut, he's going to get shelved by the commission for a while.
New York is going to they're going to put him on 90 days for sure, yeah.
Yeah, that's for sure.
That's
he's going
before
to
he can get back to ring spar or anything. Yeah. Huh?
Yeah. 3 months.
That's before he can do anything.
Yeah, 90 days. Yeah. So I could see all of that. I mean, it was a good fight. So I think what's next, man? That's the bigger question. Could maybe a Saunders and a Golovkin finally get in the ring? And if that fight happens, would it be here? Would it be in the UK? Probably more than likely be in the UK. I could see getting a bigger crowd over there. But man, Golovkin got a little humble today. I seen him get in trouble. He backtracked. He regrouped and came back. Showed a lot of heart himself. Since we're talking about Derevyanchenko showing a lot of heart, Golovkin did as well. Really, man, like who won tonight? We did.
The fans. I think what the next fight for Golovkin will be determined once the numbers come in for the zone. Don't ask us. Yeah. Don't tag us and ask us. Don't call in and ask us what kind of subscriber number they got. They're not going to release an official number. They will probably they are the largest sports app in the world. Okay, so worldwide they have more subscribers than any sports app by far. All right, it ain't even close. In America, they do not have more subscribers than ESPN at this time. I do not believe. Now, did that recent thing say that they were the biggest in America too? Because if so, then they do. They did?
Yeah, it did.
So they cleared the 1 million subscriber mark?
Supposedly.
Wow. And that's a lot has come with since Canelo Jacobs, right? That's where most of it's come from. Because I remember it jumped by like 700% with that fight right there. That's the power of the redheaded Irishman. Not Canelo Alvarez, the redheaded Irishman. I mean Canelo, and that's the power of Canelo. If he's pushed that number over 1 million, then they're pretty comfortable. All right. But I know they say they're not going to pay the big money, but they're going to make them fight for their money.
I think what this era of boxing is going to be, it's not just going to be like it's going to be where the name's still going to bring you in some money, obviously. But if you ask me, people aren't going for anything unless you give them a good dance partner.
All right, we got another caller right here. Real quick, let me flip over. Welcome to the Counterpunch for Henderson Arena. You're live. Hello. 210 area code. That's in Texas, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, they hung up. They dropped the call. Some people get a little gun shy once they hear their own voice. That happens. As always, you'll be able to message us any of your questions for Thursday night.
Back to I think that people are not going just for the name anymore. You need that dance partner.
Amen.
You need that I don't want to say marquee matchup, but you need a good matchup.
No doubt. No doubt. I totally agree.
It's gonna be a interesting fight, interesting division going forward. You got the guy with the most belts fighting a light heavyweight. So I mean, shit. Who can Golovkin fight next?
I think he has to. I think if I'm with him, I'm trying to secure the Canelo Alvarez fight. Is what you've got to try. I know you ain't gonna talk about him no more, but I'm just telling you what you've got to try to secure. If you're Team Golovkin, if you're his management, if you're Tom Loeffler, that's what you've got to go for. Don't you believe?
Well, that's what I would go for, and at this point, he gotta take what he gotta take. He can't go try to play hardball, man.
Well,
because clock is ticking.
He's still got what? 4 more fights on the DAZN contract, correct?
Yeah.
Now, do you believe? Now we don't know the actual details of that contract. We know the amounts and the big number at the end amount and stuff like that. What we don't know is how they break it down. Should you get in there with Canelo in the second fight? That was the plan. This is your pay. I'm sure that all changed now. You know what I mean? So, like I said, what we don't know for sure is the breakdown of it. Now, should he not get back in there with Canelo, I'm sure that'll change too. All these will change. I do know what would have really changed it was losing tonight without getting that Canelo fight. So they got to think about that. In the back of Tom Loeffler's mind, when he's sitting down talking to Eric Gomez, he's got to be thinking, let's make it.
If he would have lost that fight, he could forget about Canelo.
Yeah, I think the DAZN maybe runs him back one more time because that was a good enough fight. But I think they definitely run that fight back one more time if you win. But if I'm Tom Loeffler, I'm trying to get Canelo Alvarez and trying to stay away from Derevyanchenko.
I wouldn't mind seeing that fight.
I would, because I'm even wanting to take. I'd even try to take Charlo before I took Derevyanchenko again.
And you know what? And both sides negotiated, man. They just couldn't come up with a number. So,
yeah, without a doubt.
So I wouldn't mind seeing that fight. I mean, the next 6 to 8 months are going to be very interesting in the middleweight division. I mean, you got Jamal Charlo sitting there. You got Andre sitting there. Saunders has hinted that he could still go back down into one and make 160, even though he's at 168 now. Jacobs has definitely moved up to 168. So
Danny's definitely a campaigner.
Yeah. So I want to know which way to go, and hell, I think at this point, if you're talking about from a money standpoint and eyeballs
Chris
and
Mannix
things like
says
that.
hi, everybody. He's on listening to us live right now from DAZN.
Hello, sir.
He's on my old Twitter chat that we used to run the counter punch out of, and he's there. We've got a caller. You want to check with him? We got a little bit of time.
Yeah.
Welcome to the counter punch. You're live. Who's calling? Hello?
Hello?
Can you hear us?
You there?
I guess we got another listener. I'll let you listen along. Okay. You can listen along that way. In case you didn't know, you can listen through this channel. I don't know what kind of options they give you. Is to give you a chance to just be able to listen and not.
You
what? Okay.
Just to listen. So anyway, it's gonna be interesting, man. This middleweight division is gonna be it's looking more and more like Canelo's division.
He's the lineal champion, correct? I mean, I got Canelo's the lineal champion. He's got to be the number one fighter in the world at 160 pounds. The fact that he don't fight there every fight doesn't really matter. He's still the man there. He come back to this year and has beat Danny Jacobs this year there, which is, I mean, in his last 4 fights, he's beat the number 1 and number 3 middleweight 3 times. All right, the number 1 and number 3 middleweight 2 times, and drawed with the number 1 middleweight once. All right, the other time he moved up and fought the WBA 168 champion, regular 168 champion in Rocky Felding, and beat him handily in what was a showcase fight, and a chance to just snatch a title in another division, in my opinion. But it's promotion, and that's, you know, you do what you got to do when you can. James Dominguez from Dominguez and Kelly Pavlich says, "Hey guys, how's everybody doing out there?" We appreciate that. I do have the listener count like I used to, though, Wilson. I was wrong about that. I do have all that again still.
Well, for me personally, like the Andre fight, I would be interested in that fight because to me it won't be boring.
Caller on the air from 910. I'm not sure where that's it, but here we go. You're live with the Counterpunch. Who's calling?
This is Jamel Herring calling in. I'm just listening.
What's up, my man?
Oh.
Jamel, hey, guys. This is your 130-pound WBO champion of the world.
Let's go, Champ. Let's go, Champ.
I was just scrolling through my Facebook because I'm in training camp and I couldn't sleep, so I was scrolling to see the number. I said, let me just call in. Let me check and see what's going on.
It's not a run day tomorrow?
Oh no! It's never a rest day. That's why I was just tossing and turning, but I think I'll be fine. I'll be fine in the morning.
Champ, before anything, thank you for your service. It's a pleasure to have you on.
Amen. I've told you 1,000 times before, Mel, but we want to thank you, man. We appreciate the call in as well. Your
how's camp going?
Service and what you do for the troops, giving back and stuff. You know, making sure it's recognized. I love it, dude. I love it. Where are you in camp? Colorado?
I appreciate it. Yeah, Colorado Springs.
Yeah. I actually tried to call Bomac a couple days ago, I believe. Day before yesterday, actually. Is he out there with you?
I'll let him know. Yeah, he's upstairs making all the noise. It's probably why I probably can't sleep right now. And Bud Crawford just stepped into town as well, so he's probably upstairs arguing with him about something. So I'm just laying,
D&D boxing's a mess, ain't it? I love them guys, man.
I'm just laying in bed.
How's camp going, Champ?
Oh, camp's going great. Today this was sparring with Bud. I ran, up and down the hills in Colorado Springs in the mountains. So, it's been a rugged day, but I'm enjoying it. I want to be at my best, so I never really complain about the workout. I just always look at it as it'll eventually pay off. So I'm all for it.
All right. So this is gonna be your first title defense, correct?
Correct.
So how does it feel to be a world champion?
I think, like I said, I'm still the same, the same old guy. I think I just enjoy the fact that I'm getting, the proper respect that I've been fighting for, since I became a professional athlete. But overall, I'm the same guy as I was years ago. If anything, I just look at it as I use my platform to reach out to people and, just to spread my message and, just to help people, and encourage them to never give up and continue fighting for what they believe in.
Yeah, because I follow you on social media, man, and you do a lot of positive stuff, and I never see you really going back and forth with anybody on there the way the fighters do today. And I just want to let you know, man, that's highly appreciated.
Oh yeah, of course. I don't believe in the whole, I have to play, the villain or the bad guy, to get my message across. If anything, I'd rather just continue, being who I am. And I think that right there does a good enough job as it is.
What do you think of tonight? Did you watch the fight at all?
You know I did. We all watched the fight.
Who you have winning?
How'd they split in the house?
I thought, like I said, I thought the 114-113 was a proper score that probably could have went in either direction. I didn't believe in too much of the gap. I believe, like I said, a 114 with a 113 score on either side was a fair decision due to the knockdown. But it was a good fight. It was.
I agree.
I mean, for a lot of us, I wasn't expecting, to what take place, of course. But I thought after the first knockdown, it'd have been an easy night for Golovkin. But sure enough, man, it seemed like he kind of like aged overnight a bit in some of those rounds.
Yeah, but I mean, in the Rose fight, like, to be honest with you, even though he dominated in that fight, I kind of saw it. I don't know how to explain it, But I just felt like he was getting tagged a little too much and stuff like that. And it happens to all the great ones, man.
He wasn't getting off as quick anymore. He wasn't getting off. Jamel, there's that split second. You know what I mean? And he was hesitating there. And it's what it seemed like. And then when you said something Thursday night on there, Wilson, about him looking slower, speed goes, especially when you're 37 years old and you've had 400 sanctioned fights.
Yeah.
But
yeah. He's always been a fighter. He's always been a fighter that relies on timing.
Yeah, and I was telling the guys today, like, if anything, like with fighters, it always seems like the power goes last. But like, I just felt like his timing was a bit off. He wasn't as aggressive as he was maybe like 3 years ago or such. And he just his punch resistance was kind of it wasn't the same Gennady Golovkin where he was taking a punch, but at the same time he was landing a big one on you that's putting you down. It wasn't that Gennady Golovkin that we've seen in the past.
Well, Champ, I'll be honest with you. Both me and Wilson here has always been kind of hard on Golovkin. It isn't that he isn't a good fighter. That wasn't it. It was just him being like moved so far up the rankings and stuff without what we felt was a great resume. Will you hang with us here for a minute, Champ? Well, I'm gonna let another call come in for a second. Can you hang on with us for just a second?
Yeah.
Hey, you're live on the Counterpunch. Who's calling?
Hello?
Hello? Hey, who is it?
Yeah, are we live?
Yes, we're live.
Hey, yeah, no worries. I was listening to the Champ talk. I'm JC. I work with Jamel, the Champ.
That's my guy JC from Los Angeles listening in.
Oh, that's JC? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I know who it is.
JC.
I know JC.
No, we just got everybody.
Yeah, no, I agree with what the Champ was saying. There's a couple of factors that play into it. I think Golovkin just one, Derevyanchenko's got to get credit. He's a tough out for anyone, and then two, you've got a established fighter, a set fighter like Golovkin that's working for a second time with a new trainer, and that their chemistry isn't going to be 100% yet because they're still learning to very much work off each other. And then
Jamel can attest that he switched not too far back himself. Yeah.
Very true. True.
And then the other factor is that.
However, though,
Golovkin being sick this week.
Yeah. Oh, he was sick. I didn't know that.
Sick. He was running a figure yesterday. I do know that. Yeah.
Yeah. The climate change here the last week.
I'm in New York, so the weather dropped. I'll be honest with you. The weather went from 90 to 50 in one day.
Right. And then out here in California, he lives in Santa Monica. He did a lot of media before they left. Once they came down from Big Bear, he did media out here, and then they took off to New York. But the climate out here changed drastically because I'm out here in Los Angeles, and I felt it for a couple of days there. It just threw my sinuses out of whack, and I know that for fighters, I've had this happen before a lot with other fighters where we get to the fight week, and when we're fighting in the fall, I'm always concerned about that because the change in the weather and then the cutting of weight, it can go ahead and affect them. It gets their immune system down, and you always run a risk of we're going to go ahead and have a cold going into the fight. But with Golovkin, it seemed like it was bothering him because his energy levels seemed like really erratic, and that's not something we've ever seen.
They did. That's good. That's a good call. They really did.
So you feel like it was more. So you feel like it was more of an illness than age, or a combination?
I think so. I think it was tough to he looked. I mean, you could say whatever you want about the Steve Rolls fight because Rolls looked like he was a competent fighter for however many rounds he was in there. But once Golovkin decided, hey, I'm going to go ahead and turn it up and get this guy out of here, he did exactly that. But with Derevyanchenko, we know that he's world class. We know that he's a world class fighter. We have a measuring stick.
He fought the elite international
Yeah, he's been in there before. Yeah, so we it played a factor. The respect to Derevyanchenko for stepping up and rising to the occasion, but also Golovkin. I think that him being bothered and being sick the week of the fight, it showed because the energy levels, just the way he reacts, wasn't there. I mean, he fought Canelo and essentially beat him or stayed in the fight with just a jab, and here his energy levels wouldn't allow him to do that. He was going ahead and constantly trying to take a step back to reset himself, and that seemed like even in the first couple of rounds where he was taking deep breaths and trying to catch his wind, and I think that only happens because when you're dealing with a cold or sinuses, your nose gets jammed up, and it makes it hard to breathe. So you start opening your mouth, and when a fighter takes deep breaths like that, it's not because they're poor condition. It's just because they're not able to breathe, and they're having to deal with everything else outside of the person in front of them. So, that's what I
thought. NYSOC, the commission in New York, what's the rules on oxygen? Anybody know up there? Prior to the fight, you can get it.
Yeah, I know they're very stringent, about a lot of things, especially, with the commission. A lot of things have changed there over the years. They play on the side of caution, on the side of caution with a lot of things. Even with the cut, the fact that there was 3 doctors up there, I knew that they were going to go ahead and if it looked any more dangerous, they would stop it because, once upon a time I worked with Margarito, and I remember what Margarito had to go through with the rematch of Cotto, where they kept they kept a close look on his eye, and the moment that they thought he was in trouble with the eye, they stopped the fight. So
I got a question.
Well, New York, it's over here like they're real very cautious ever since that one fighter had issues. Who was it that he faced, Chris?
Well, Gamache too. I mean, they've been.
Who are you talking about?
When he faced Mike Perez.
When who faced him?
The guy that faced Mike Perez. I forgot his name, man.
I can't remember his name, but I know you're talking about.
Yeah, the commission got they got a lawsuit on their hands and all of that.
Ever
since that time,
bad brain problems afterwards that they didn't realize the doctors missed and everybody missed and sending back home. Yeah, back across to the Eastern Europe. Question for both of y'all guys. Now hear none of y'all mention this. How much of this has to do with Andre Rozier being across from him for the 3rd time?
I think it. I mean, like I've never been in a situation where we've been in with an opponent that the opposing trainer, has seen a fighter or has seen a fighter that we work with, 2-3 different times, But in his case, he had been in there, and Andre's a very capable trainer.
Andre's great.
He's going to go ahead and, if anything, he gets a lot of credit for the way he approaches fights, the game planning, and I thought that he took, Danny Jacobs and Severy Derevyanchenko are 2 totally different fighters, but the things that he saw, he was able to go ahead and get him to do it. I think the guy fought his ass off. He really stepped it up and fought.
Yeah, he did a great job. I thought he did a great job.
Yeah, and I don't, I hate to say that, that no one was a loser here because I really think in defeat, his stock rose. That's
exactly what we just talked about right before Jamel called in, actually. Whose stock rose the most? I think it's Derevyanchenko's here. I think he secured himself at least another solid $2 million payday, maybe up to that, and possibly
absolutely. Absolutely, and now everybody's going to say, okay, if you get in there with him, then that's a certifiable, top fight. If you can't secure a fight with another one of the champions, that's a good fight for you to go ahead and get because it's a measuring stick to show everyone else that you're world class because he's been in there with, he's been in there with Golovkin now, and he's been in there with Danny Jacobs. And as far as for Triple G, it might be inviting. Maybe more people are going to be more willing to, sign on the dotted line and want to fight him because maybe they think, hey, you know what, he's not what he used to be, and I want to go after it. That
right before you guys came on. Right before you guys came on, I had just finished saying that it was the fans won tonight. Obviously, you know what I mean.
Absolutely.
Great fight.
Absolutely.
And Derevyanchenko stock rose I never felt like Golovkin was just gonna walk through him anyway, because he's a very capable fighter, and I like what he showed me in the Jacobs fight.
What Sergey is, very technical.
Yeah,
his elbows are in the right place, his hands are in the right place.
But
he had an issue in the first 2 rounds dropping his backhand, but that's it.
Yeah, he came out strong in the Jacobs fight too, towards the end of the fight. So I knew he was gonna be standing there. Was he gonna last? Maybe Golovkin stopped him late. That's what I call. I was wrong. Obviously, the fight went into a decision. I'm not upset with who won or who lost tonight, because to me it depends. Scoring is subjective, so it's what you like. Right. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I had 5 close rounds in this fight.
If one person had it 114, 113 Golovkin, I'm not gonna get mad. If somebody else had it 114, 113 Derevyanchenko, I'm not gonna get mad. It was that kind of fight, in my opinion.
Right, because to be honest with you, I at the end of the fight, before they read the cards, I thought, wow, okay, we're gonna see something right now, because if I had to make a decision, I probably would have said Derevyanchenko wasn't a close fight. But I'm not blind to the fact that, look, Gennadi's a house fighter. He's the promoter. He's the promoter of the card.
I think Sergio Mara forgot that he's the house fighter.
Yeah, this is his event. I mean, he's the guy with the $145 million deal with DAZN, and equity in the company. He's not going to get the benefit of the doubt from the judges. Everybody in the building, all fight week, know that it's his promotion. It says it on the ring, so he got the benefit of the doubt. Something that years ago, or just a few fights ago, he realized that he didn't get that versus Canelo. So now he benefited from it, and like you said before, hey, if you have it 114, 113, one way or the other, I'm not mad about it. And like I said, the fans are probably going to win here, because Sergey will get another big fight. Gennady, maybe this invites, makes it easier to go ahead and make big fights, and maybe not be limited to the fights at 160. If a big fight for him at 168, make it. He's got options now, and hopefully it's not a long time before we see him back, because I'd like to see him stay active and keep these fights going. It was a grueling fight, but if he can have a not too long of a turnaround, then that'd be great, because I don't think he can afford to really drag it out anymore, because time's not on his side.
I agree. Who would you like to see each guy fight next if you had your choice, JC?
Man, if I could play matchmaker, I do want to see. I think this makes me more interested in seeing Canelo deal with Kovalev, because for the very same reasons, that's look, Golovkin, maybe he looked a little vulnerable here in the last couple of fights. Now people are going to be more willing to sign up. I think that's exactly the reason that Canelo is targeting Kovalev, because in his mind he looks like damn good.
Laughed at me, but yeah, when I asked him, but yeah, that's the reason.
Yeah, he looks like
Roberto Diaz, the best matchmaker outside of Brad Goodman, since I got y'all on here.
Yeah, they know what they see, and they see that the body's susceptible to body punches. But guess what? There's a price to pay for that, and going up 15 pounds from 160 to 175, that's a big jump. And fight night, you're going to look at a Sergey that's going to be a 200-pounder. Good luck.
Yeah.
Now I know McGirt knows, but if Sergey would go with that one to the chest a lot more often, he could keep him at a distance. You know what I mean?
His jab is the key. Buddy
is a key.
Said it at the press
and you can eliminate. You should cut away some of that head movement if you just put it right at his chest a little bit. Just keep the distance. He's got to keep distance. If he lets him get inside, it could be bad.
Yeah, but Buddy, I think he knows that that Canelo likes to bend at the waist a lot and kind of but he does come forward, and I think that Buddy understands that their fight is all on the outside. That's where Kovalev's going to be the most effective, and when Canelo does try to come inside, they have to fire that right down the middle, and and let it be known early. Get the respect early, because if they don't go ahead and set that boundary,
if you don't make him
all of a
settle
sudden
into that jab a lot, it's over. Yeah.
Yeah,
I totally agree.
You have to almost like Golovkin approached the first fight. The first fight, Golovkin jabbed a lot and it was technical, and I think we're going to see that also here with Kovalev, because anybody that thinks that Canelo's just going to walk him down, that's foolish. I mean, he put Anthony Yarde down. Anthony Yarde's a big, strong boy, and he put him down towards the end of the fight with a hard jab. So it shows you the and it just shows you the amount of power that he has on his punches. So whoever that plays out, I think that's going to go ahead and answer a lot of questions here. I wouldn't, maybe if Canelo wins that fight, I think he's probably going to end up coming back down to 60, 68, and maybe 68 is the next stop for him there, because I'd really like to see him fight a guy like a Callum Smith. I
don't think he wants to fight Callum Smith.
We never thought he'd want to fight Sergey Kovalev.
That's true.
When I was, cause see, a lot of people, I went as a competition director at the Zone. I went up for position and everything, and then come back. I said I knew about that fight, and I'd mentioned it to Wilson, and we'd mentioned it on air one time, and I'm like, man, I don't see them taking that fight. And then when I saw this last two the Alvarez fight, Elidio Alvarez, the second fight, and I said he's still susceptible, but if you don't change levels with his jab, he's got to change levels, and that's how Andre was able to get inside on him, which is him focusing on that top third of the head, and but he changed it perfect in the second Alvarez. He worked perfect behind the one there, and then I watched that Yarde fight, and I'm like, oh boy, perfect timing by Roberto Diaz or whoever's decided to, take this, move forward. I do believe that in May, after this fight right here, that in May, Canelo Alvarez will definitely be willing to come back to this fight if possible.
Hey, man, credit to Anthony in that fight, because to me, I felt like his corner let him down. They didn't make adjustments throughout the fight, and if he had a better corner that actually let him spar during camp.
He does spar, but he spars his trainer. He spars Tunde or whatever his name is. How do you say his name? He spars him.
The one thing that I take away from here, and I gotta, I remember talking to Steve Kim about this, and he was telling me that, Golovkin's the guy that's trained so long with Abel Sanchez that he knew that when they were in there, when they were at Big Bear, it was Abel running the show, and Gennady was just going ahead and going to work. He was like a soldier. He was just going in, taking orders, and let's go to work. And they have the routine. And I think now with Jonathan Banks, I think that, I don't know. I think Gennady understands him and listens to him, but I don't know that that Jonathan has
that respect.
That full respect where he, Jonathan can, I think he might be even walking on glass, because he
definitely is. I almost bet he is.
Yeah, because
at least that's how he feels anyway. That's how he feels. I mean, I've seen him with Vladimir Klitschko, remember? Yeah.
Yeah, where was the urgency in the fight? Like, they put the camera in the corner, and you're waiting for him to tell him something. He didn't say anything until the very end, when he said, I need you to fight hard in this last round. But where was the sense of urgency in the second half of the fight, where he has to know that some of those rounds are getting away from him? And I just
amen.
I didn't hear it.
In my fight notes between the third, I mentioned that Golovkin seems to be looking for a big shot in round 5. Between 5 and 6, Banks told him to stop doing that. All right, and I was like, well, at least he picked up on it. You know what I mean? Then I'm watching the second half, I'm like, where the hell, man? What happened to the instruction? You know what I mean? At least be more active. At least tell him to be more active or something, And I didn't hear it, but you're right. I didn't hear no urgency in the second half of that fight. You had to realize that he had lost at least 4 in 6 rounds or so. Maybe, At least I felt like
that. Yeah, absolutely. It was visible to everyone, because during the fight, I'm watching it at home, but I'm texting people that are ringside, and I'm asking media, hey, how do you have it scored? Because I wanted to see if they saw the same thing that I was seeing at home. and they realized that. They told me, yeah, there's some rounds here that he's definitely losing them because he's being walked down. Derevyanchenko's pushing him back. He's hitting him to the body, and it's all noticeable. You know, he wasn't. It's not like he was
turned
putting
him
up
a couple
the poker
times
face.
too.
Yeah, he was definitely moving him around the ring, and Golovkin was showing it on. He was showing it in the rounds. His body language was telling the story of what was going on.
Golovkin's never been hard to turn. Willie Monroe turned him pretty good too. He's never been hard to turn with position, but he turned him through strength, and that's kind of unusual. Yeah.
Yeah. What was really telling to me, you know, and like I've had, you know, I was fortunate enough to when Golovkin first started his streak here, and he was fighting a lot in Southern California. I had one of the other fighters I worked with. We were on his cards for so many of his different fights that I get. It sounds funny now talking about it, but it was like a prime Golovkin, you know, when he was fighting against the Rubios and you know, a lot of these fights that he had in Southern California. And when I you know think about that, the one thing I always think about is Golovkin always stood his ground. Yeah, he was turning, like you said, William Monroe. That was one of the fights that we were on, and yeah, he always stood his ground. But the one thing with Golovkin was that he, even though you could turn him, you weren't going to back him up easy. He stood his ground and defended his real estate. And tonight, his body language and all that, it just looked weird, and that's what led me to believe, okay, yeah, all this talk about him being sick and the people that knew about it but were keeping it under hush, I get it. You know, you never want to go and admit to something like that until after the fight. I mean, and like I said, I've had to deal with that with fighters before, where I know that they're sick going into the fight week. You know, you're dealing with the cold and just like.
Oh yeah, I was working with Paul Williamson and going into the Quintana fight. He was wore out, man, all week. He was wore out all week. The first Quintana fight, yeah, I remember that real well. I mean, I've seen it. Yeah.
Does that change your approach going into fight week?
It does in a sense because, like, I mean, you know, look, the commissions don't let you use anything that like any of the medicine that clears your sinus, after this or your nose. They don't let you use it because of some of the drugs or ingredients that have in it that are on the ban list. Yeah, you know, so man, I've had to do all kinds of.
You're not getting TUE in New York either at all.
Yeah, in California, you know, here they're very strict about it. So, you know, I've asked the commission during the week, hey, what can we take? What can't we? And they're like, no, you can't. And if you take it, you got to let us know. But you know, just because you take it and you let us know, it doesn't mean that you know, come after the fight. They may not stop you from fighting, but after the fight, if you get tested for it and you pop, they're going to go ahead and say, well, it was on the ban list. You just let us know about it. And so instead of running the risk
all antihistamines are on the ban list.
Yeah,
all antihistamines.
Yeah, I've had to go ahead and just man, we've had to do all kinds of weird stuff to just make sure that the fighter could breathe. You know, even you know having them go ahead and use the nasal strips all the way up until like minutes before they go in the ring because you know you're just trying to go ahead and make sure that they're good. But it looked like Golovkin something wasn't right with him.
He didn't look dry.
He was
I knew what. When I'm talking about dehydrated, when I say dry, I mean your lips be dry, chapped a little bit because you hadn't got enough fluids during the week. You know what I mean? Or when you're sick, that happens. Okay, you see that a lot.
Right.
I've seen people confuse that for the fighter being dehydrated. I mean, it's just when you're sick, and especially with sinus or something that happens. If this happens to a fighter, really there ain't a whole lot you can do other than keep fluids in him, maybe some vitamin C to boost his energy a little bit, and try to drop as much media shit as you can that week. You know what I mean? But,
right.
And hope he ain't got much weight to cut.
Yeah, I mean that's the reason that like now, you know, when you go into like a fight week, you just try to go ahead and like, you know that either you're feeling great 100% or you're dealing with little bullshit, and you're like, man, you know what? Let me try to go ahead and get through whatever I got to get through because, you know, you try to avoid talking to too many people because You know, you don't want anybody to pick up on it or anything like that. And you know, of course, you don't want to go ahead and give yourself away. And then it's tough too because it depends on where fights are. Like New York is a very populated place, so wherever you're walking, you're around people and there's people coughing and sneezing. So, man, you just want to be in your hotel room and really not come out. And the same thing in Vegas. If you're in Vegas, man, you know, you want to even walk around with a freaking mask. Margarito used to go ahead and wear a freaking scarf around him covering his mouth because he knew that there's so many people coughing and sneezing in the casino that, you know, even you just going down trying to do something, you know, that's the last thing, you know, because you're freaking out because you're cutting weight and your body's susceptible to. So it definitely depends on where you're fighting at and what the situation is with your fight week.
Absolutely. Yep. Guys, we're getting ready to cut out of here. We appreciate y'all calling in. In case y'all don't know, November the 9th, Lamont Roach.
Hey, wait.
Yeah.
So
go ahead.
After the fight on the 9th, coming back on or what?
Say that one more time.
After the 9th, the 9th of November, you coming? Can we get you back on?
Anytime, man.
Absolutely, Jamel. Thank you, man. In case y'all don't know, is it going to be on the app? Yes, it is on the app, right?
ESPN Plus.
Okay.
Yep.
ESPN Plus, Fresno, California, November the 9th. Don't miss the WBO, 130-pound champion of the world. Defend his title against Lamont Roach. We thank y'all for calling, guys.
Appreciate it. Thank you guys for having us.
Have a good one, guys.
Absolutely.
Chris, we're almost out of time.
Well, we're down to like 6 minutes. There was several people called I couldn't get to. I mean, we've had up to 60 callers probably. But that was great.
Sorry about that.
I felt like that was great to have them on. And I think I figured out how to know if they're just wanting to listen or not now because of the numbers coming up. James Dominguez from Punchline with Kelly Patrick. They all say, hey, Chris Manic. I touched on that. Teofimo Lopez says, hey, guys.
Yo, Theo. Hey, Theo, when you coming on, man? When you coming on?
These are shout-outs that I missed because of this, and I don't know if everybody's still on. I know we still have 1,540 people listening live right now. We appreciate the listen, guys, and this is our version of post-fight coverage called In the Shadows. Run over to Facebook.com/The Counterpunch Show. Give us a like. Twitter page is up now, too. I think it's Counterpunch_HU because the Counterpunch was taken. I don't know who has it, but somebody does. It's kind of like when we come on air, I said, I don't mind this fight going either way. My range was 115, 112, Derevyanchenko to 115, 112, Golovkin. And I did could see Derevyanchenko with the close rounds. If you give him, I gave the close rounds 3-2, Gennady Golovkin. If you give one of them, of the three I gave to Golovkin to Derevyanchenko, it's 115, 112. You see what I'm saying?
It was just a hell of a fight.
Was a hell of a fight. I meant to holler Jamal, tell Bomac I was called. He said he'd tell Bomac I called, right? I want to get him on and ask him about that Porter thing we talked about Thursday night.
Oh yeah. We wanted to talk to Bomac. Like I said, man, the fight was a great fight. We have gotten back-to-back weekends of great fights.
Woo!
It's really a good time to be a boxing fan. Let's be honest. Hopefully it gets better. You know, we get the big matchups that the fans want, and the sport could grow for that because the sport needs it. It's a community, man. It's a lifestyle. Boxing to some people is everything. Like me.
Amen. This is our livelihood. This is what we do, guys. One more time around the horn for the sponsors. TheGruelingTruth.com. That's Anchor.fm. You can always catch every episode right there. This one will be uploaded pretty quick. I'm going to have to break it down. It's a little longer than what we expected for ad space and stuff like that. But BetUS.com. #TCPB will get you $500 match dollar for dollar if you use our promo code starting November the 1st. Is that, if I'm not mistaken? Also, don't forget, this Thursday, live, right here, at 9:01 Eastern Time. We'll be on there. That's Eastern Time. Yeah. So 8 Central. Mountain Zone Time is going to be 7, and then 6 on the West Coast. And
right.
We're going to talk boxing, guys. We're going to talk about the hottest stuff in the sport, what's coming up.
And I'll make sure Chris takes your calls if you call in. The other thing is
dark in my chat. Robert Ludlam, which is one of our platinum level supporters, wants to know if we can wish his daughter Angel a happy birthday. Absolutely, Robert. I've got a couple
more. Wishing happy birthday. What's her name? Angel.
Angel. I'm gonna guess Angel Ludlam.
Happy birthday.
7.
Enjoy it. Happy birthday. Of course we can.
Yeah, okay. Absolutely.
What's the time?
We're down to approximately 2 minutes and 19 seconds. Let me make sure I hit all the sponsors. MissBlogTalkRadio.com, which is where we're at right now. Thank you. Also, I want to say it's Community Graphics and Digital Design. They're going to offer a promo code for us soon. You'll be able to go on their website and stuff and get discounts. Also, they're printing our shirts and stuff here soon.
So, anything else as far as sponsor goes? Or?
That's really about it.
Okay, I want to...
VeryWellFit.com. Don't forget to check out VeryWellFit.com and get your nutritionist calculator. They are a sponsor of ours. I almost forgot, but we've been added in through Anchor. That's VeryWellFit.com, which is Dot-Dash Publishing's Very Well series. You got Very Well Health, Very Well Mind, and Very Well Family. You got weight loss plans. You got everything you can have in there. In case you missed it, the commercial for them will be in the on Anchor and Spotify and iTunes. And actually, I think this goes on iTunes too. So there'll be 2 iTunes versions of this show. But
yeah, well,
you want to talk to them? We're going to guide them out this door in these last 27 seconds. It's on you.
All right, man. Want to thank everybody. We'll be back Thursday night, 9 p.m. Eastern. We're going to have the untouchable Sean Mason. He's 2-0 coming out of Florida. We'll be fighting November 16 in Orlando. Check it out. You need to come on. And whoever else calls, thank you. And we are out.
Demetrius Salita, headed Salita Promotions, former boxer himself. He's Clarissa Shields promoter, will come on Thursday night as well to talk about this situation that just happened. Even tonight's card some on Showtime.
And hopefully he'll get Clarissa to come on too. That'll be nice.
That would be great. That would be great. I'll ask him about that.
Have a good night.
See you.
That's it.
Thank you, and we're out, guys. What a show!